Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Do want to mention our good friends over at usdailyreview.com, the national news website. Over 1 million hits a month and growing every single day, thanks to readers like you. While you're there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. Continuing my conversation with Tony Powers, the one and only. You can learn more about him at italkus.com, and he is doing great things for the cause of freedom, and loved spending time on his show, love him taking time to be on mine. Tell us what's happening with iTalk US.
Well, we're doing great, picking up listeners every day. It is I love technology. Of course, now you have wireless and you have, of course, online streaming, and that has just increased tremendously in the last few years, and we've seen our numbers just almost double in the last 6 months as far as wireless streaming is concerned. So we have an app, too, on your cell phone. Just go to your app store, iTalk US. It's there. It's free to download. We pay the freight, and just makes your smartphone even smarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tell us what you're talking about on your program. What kind of thing is resonating with your audience?
Well, of course, everybody's talking about Ferguson, the latest method of mass distraction that this administration and I look at this as one of those targets of opportunity. You hear about that in warfare, when the jets fly over and they see something that they can fire on as they attack ISIS over there in Iraq. So they're looking for targets of opportunity. I kind of look at this Ferguson thing as one of those Democrat targets of opportunity. They saw an incident happen, and boy, you had them down there as fast as they could be, so that they could, distract us from the real issues that are affecting America. Obamacare. When was the last time you heard people talk about Obamacare? Remember, that was supposed to be the big thing in November that was going to sweep the Republicans into a majority in the Senate. You never hear about that anymore. IRS crisis, off the radar. Immigration crisis, off the radar. Let's all talk about Ferguson, Missouri, and the fact that a young man was killed there by a white police officer, and it was a young, unarmed black man, and of course it was in broad daylight. How many times have you heard him talk about it was in broad daylight, as if that made a difference?
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, well, the problem is that there's not enough shows like mine, and my web platform isn't the size of Huffington Post, although I do appreciate them. They've been great friends to me. I love that they give me a column over there, but I'm one small voice out of thousands of liberals there, and iTalk US isn't big enough yet, and even with Fox News' splash, the problem is who controls the narrative, and the narrative is controlled by the hard left. And I was shocked to see in the Huffington Post this week, one lead story was a Democrat senator who is now coming out, is going to make, Obamacare a centerpiece of his reelection. And that's the senator from Arkansas. I was shocked to see that this, U.S. senator is really putting his career on the line as he fights for reelection, talking about the virtues of Obamacare. Senator, my mind is slipping here.
I can't think of the one.
Mark Pryor. It's Mark Pryor.
Oh, yeah, Mark Pryor.
Yeah, and so David Pryor's kid. So, yeah.
Let's just hope that more senators like Mark Pryor decide to make Obamacare a centerpiece of their election. I think that would be wonderful for conservatives in the GOP come November.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're absolutely correct on that. And unfortunately, I think he could be beaten no matter who he ran against. But it's an interesting situation out there. That you're absolutely right. These incredible scandals that would destroy any other president. This guy gets a continued pass. It's just incredible, and yet he acts like he's continuously abused by the media. It's kind of funny when you look at it.
Well, and yesterday we had this poor reporter beheaded. It was put on YouTube and all over the internet. By these animals, and I wouldn't even call them terrorists because they're beyond terrorists. They're animals in ISIS. And, of course, the president comes out without a tie on. He's on vacation. And then within 15 minutes of him saying a few words about how sad it was that this young man was killed and murdered by ISIS, he's back on the golf course.
Yep.
It's amazing the lack of leadership we have in this country.
It's incredible.
And of course, we see it in every single area, not just foreign policy, but in domestic policy. And when he does lead, it's always something that's damaging to the country.
No question about it. You know, it's just amazing. And the worst thing about it is when he leaves is that he always comes back. That's just the worst part of it. You know, if he stayed on vacation, we might all be better off. But you know, and deferred to somebody else. But you're right about that. So you know, you and I had earlier this year, you know, kind of upbeat conversations over prospects for Republicans. You know, I don't know. I don't feel that good about November.
Well, you know, again, this thing that's happening now in Ferguson, Missouri, is kind of a twofer for the Democrats because they wanted to gin up the black base. The black base, of course, votes overwhelmingly for the Democrats. They have been less than enthusiastic about going out and voting in November because obviously the Democrats have now found a new girlfriend in the Hispanic community, and so you have the president threatening to have an executive order where he will grant amnesty to 6 to 10 million more illegal immigrants in this country. And so the black community had been kind of upset over that. So I think this whole Ferguson thing is, again, it's a twofer. It'll gin up the black vote for Democrats in November, and also it gives the president and the Democrats an opportunity to have another, as I said, method of mass distraction to get people's minds off of all the other things that they really are concerned about.
Yes, you're not any more upbeat than I am. Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll see on that. Do you have time for one more segment? How are you doing time-wise?
Well, I'm fine. Sure.
All right, we'll do one more with the one and only Tony Powers right here on The Price of Business.